Coach Matt here from the Scorpions. We're going to be doing some more skill videos. I was hoping to get a chance to do these outside before the season started, but it's Montana out there. It's like 2 degrees today. So we're going to use the luxurious basement here again. So it may require a little bit of imagination, but the principles are the same. So first thing we're going to go over is ground balls, okay? So this is one of the most basic skills you can have. And this is something that it needs to be perfected everywhere from down to the kid the first time they play the game to all the way up to the college level. Even kids at the college level that are good at getting ground balls will find playing time. Ground balls in general are about heart, okay? So you don't really need to have a ton of skill. There's a lot of strategy, but for the most part it goes to heart. And you'll find that just about every lacrosse game that you play, with very rare exception, the team that wins the most ground balls will win that game. And you know, ground balls get converted to a goal approximately every 3 to 4 times there's a ground ball. So if you get 3 or 4 ground balls a game, you're going to be responsible for a goal for your team at least. Okay, so 12 ground balls, you're going to be responsible for 3 or 4 goals. So it's an important skill. So so the basic technique of picking up a ground ball, and this is important, okay? A lot of times what happens is you're focusing on other things. You give the kids a slide on stuff. Oh, it doesn't matter if they pick it up with one hand or they don't get low. This is something we really want to stress from the very beginning, okay? So the basic principles of picking up a ground ball are that we want to get low. We talk about getting, dragging our knuckles or getting grass stain or, in this point, carpet burn. But the idea is to get low. I don't make kids switch hands. Some coaches do this. But I think you can always find a way to get your butt between your body and the player that you're going against, whether it be here or coming at a different angle. So that's just my philosophy. You might feel differently. But anyway, basic principle is ball's on the ground. Okay, I want to put my front foot, and I'm a lefty, so I do it with my left foot, my front foot next to the ball. That's going to protect the ball from an outside defender. Okay. And the second thing I want to do is I want to get low. I want to have my one hand on the back end of the stick and one hand as close to the head as I can. Okay? The reason for that is if it's up here, I'm going to get checked. If I leave some butt in, I'm going to get checked. So as much as possible. So then I'm going to do is I'm going to get low and I'm going to grab, I'm going to get carpet burn or grass stain, or act like they're digging out of the sand. Okay? And then I'm going to, as I put my stick low, I'm going to do it quickly, and then I'm going to come through with it. Okay, so that's the basic skill in a nutshell. There's a couple progressions from this, but as with any skill, when kids are first starting out, focus on 2 or 3 things that you have them do well and key on, and then build from there. Okay, so again, get low. So an easy skill, easy way to have them do this to start is you can have them put the stick down on the ground, because this forces them to get low. And you want them to pick it up and scoop it in one smooth motion. Just like that, okay? Have them do that a few times. Another thing they can do is they can try to scoop up multiple balls at once, up to 6. And what you'll find is if they don't get low on that second ball, the balls will start to fall out. So 2, and then 3, all the way up to 6, okay? Then you can have them just start to do it on their own in varying spaces on the field. There's other drills we have in terms of doing that, rapid fire ground ball. They're on our website. Then you want to start building some competition into it. Things like hungry hippos, musical chairs. The Hogan butt to butt drill is really good to start building some competition. So kids like competition, that keeps it interesting. As when kids first start out, although this is an important skill to know, as you're doing any drill, you have to think about the purpose of the drill. If the purpose of the drill is ball movement, or the purpose of the drill is to get them to learn how to catch throw, then instead of having them pick up every ground ball, which may turn into a scrum, you may choose to just have them cover the ball, and whoever does that gets it, okay? So those are the basic aspects of it. More advanced aspects of it are deal with, once we do get the ball, how do we protect it and how do we exit and then find an outlet pass. So the next aspect of it would be after we scoop through, we want to bring the ball close to our helmet. Don't have a helmet on, obviously, but that's going to protect it to keep kids from checking it away from your stick. The next thing after that would be get to space. So we want to keep it to our head for a couple steps until we're sure we're away from the scrum. If we don't do that, the ball will drop on the ground. Obviously, it'll get checked. And then the last thing would be, once we do get to space, we want to learn how to fish hook away from pressure and then find an open man, okay? So we'll go through that basically here. So last thing which I can't neglect is, and this is very important, most young boys don't like to use their mouths for some reason during the game or during drills, but they'll like to use it in between drills or when they're talking to each other. So, you know, communication is a huge thing here. So I got ball would be something that we discussed with them. So I got ball, I'm gonna plant my foot, I'm gonna scoop through, now the head comes to my stick. Okay, now I'm gonna take a couple of steps away from the scrum. Back up just a little bit. Yeah, so taking a couple steps away from the scrum. When I'm sure I'm clear, I'm gonna roll to my outside shoulder. And I wanna roll this way because I'm gonna get checked to expose my stick. So I'm just gonna keep curving this direction, and then I'm gonna back pedal a little bit. That's gonna give me a chance to see space, okay? So that's the last aspect of it. And so after we build in some friendly competition, maybe you wanna do the Hogan butt-to-butt, that's sort of a one-on-one. Then we can work on sort of a full pad one-on-one, two-on-ones or two-on-twos, just to build in some pressure and some teamwork. So the next aspect, besides the basic ground ball, will be communication, okay? In the sport of lacrosse, if the ball is on the ground, you can block a person on the other team from getting the ball as long as you're within 3 yards or so, okay? So, and the way we communicate with this is we do something called man ball. So the person that calls the man will block the man, and the person that calls the ball will get the ball. And then it's important for them to communicate this. And then the last aspect would be release. So once I do pick up the ball, now I can't, my teammate can't block his opponent, so he actually has to get off of his guy. So I want to call release. So if we're working on pairs, one calls man, one calls ball. Some bad habit things that we don't want to see are scooping with one hand. A lot of times you'll see college kids do it. If your child plays at Duke, great, he can scoop ground ball. But I do know that Danowski has 100% no policy to that. So you can instill that early. You can make it kind of a fun little thing. If someone does pick it up with one hand, you can make them do burpees or something like that. Maybe fun for you. I don't like make kids run for punishment, but burpees is something else. So that's the first thing. And the second thing would be raking. Okay, so raking is a terrible habit. Okay, a lot of kids get into this because they think it's easier, and it is initially, but it's a bad habit. They even made it a technical foul a couple years ago, but revoked it. So the reason I don't want to do that is because it stops my momentum. I'd much rather scoop through, and if I miss the ball, you know, I'm still going to take a couple people and make some room. So we don't want to do that. Okay. So those are some basic aspects of ground ball play. And then, again, any drill can incorporate ground balls. A lot of times when we do 2-on-2s or 3-on-3s or something like that, it will start from a ground ball. So the team that wins the ground ball is on offense, the team that loses on defense. That's a good way to keep kids honest and get them on the ground balls. So that's it, so that's ground balls. We'll have other videos that deal with different aspects of this at a later date. Have a good day.